So I hope so that you all are doing very well. And today we will be starting the classification, which is the first chapter of your O levels, Biology 5090. Okay, so in the classification, first of all, we are required to understand about the characteristics of living organisms. Movement is an action by an organism or part of an organism causing a change of position or place. Respiration describes the chemical reactions in cells that break down nutrients, molecules, and release energy for metabolism. Sensitivity is the ability to detect or sense stimuli in the external or internal environment and to make appropriate responses. Growth is a permanent increase in size and dry mass by an increase in cell number or cell size or both. Reproduction is the processes that make more of the same kind of organisms. Excretion is the excretion is the removal of from organisms of the waste products of metabolism, chemical reactions in cells, including respiration, toxic materials, and substances in excess of requirements. Nutrients. Nutrition is the taking in of materials of energy, growth, and development. Plants require light, carbon dioxide, water, and ions. Animals need organic compounds and ions and water. Alright, so now understand the concept and use of classification system. What does you mean by species? Basically, species is a group of organisms that can reproduce to produce fertile offsprings. Binomial system is an internationally agreed system in which the scientific name of an organism is made up of two parts, showing the genus and the species. It is essential to classify organisms possible to identify those most at risk of extinction. Understand evolutionary relationships by studying the anatomy of different groups of vertebrates. Morphology is the study of form or outward appearance of organisms. Anatomy is the study of their internal structure as revealed by dissection. The use of DNA has revolutionized the process of classification. Eukaryotic organisms contain chromosomes made up of strings of genes. DNA is made up of a sequence of bases coding for amino acids and protein. Each species has a distinct number of chromosomes and a unique sequence of bases DNA, making it identifiable and distinguishable from other species. This helps when different species are very similar morphologically and anatomically. Cladistics, the process of biological classification. Organisms which share a more recent ancestor more closely related have DNA-based sequences that are more similar than those that share only a distant ancestor. Feature of an organism. All living organisms have certain features in common, including the presence of cytoplasm, cell membranes, DNA as genetic material, also contains ribosomes in the cytoplasm floating freely or attached to the membranes called rough endoplasmic reticulum. Ribosomes are responsible for protein synthesis and enzymes involved in respiration. Alright, and there are the five kingdoms: animal kingdom, plant kingdom, fungus kingdom, prokaryote kingdom, and protoctist kingdom. Alright. Moving towards the plant kingdom. They are multicellular. Their cell wall made of cellulose contains chloroplast and photosynthetic pigments such as chlorophyll. Make their own food by photosynthesis. Have ferns. Okay, now produces gametes but no seeds. Flowering plants. Divided into two subclasses: monocotyledon, and dicotyledon. The feature of a monocotyledon have leaf shape is long and narrow. Leaf veins are parallel, as you can see in the figure. Uh, Only one cotyledon, and grouping of flower parts are three. All right. For the dicotyledon is broad leaf shape, branching leaf veins, and two cotyledon and five grouping of flower parts. The animal kingdom. They are multicellular organisms, no cell wall or chloroplast. Okay. Coelenterate, flatworms, nema, nematode, worms. Okay. Annelids, arthropods, mollusks, and the other name is echinoderms, vertebrates. Vertebrates are animals which have a vertebral column called the spinal column or just the spine and consist of a chain of cylindrical bones joined end to end, or in simple words have a backbone. Poikilothermic, variable temperature, and are cold-blooded. We are the homeothermic, mean constant temperature and warm-blooded. Means we have a uh, particular temperature. For human beings, they have 37 degrees Celsius. And the poikilothermic are those cold-blooded organisms which can vary the temperatures, means can survive in the cold temperature and can vary the hot temperature. But for homeothermic, it is difficult. Now we are required to just focus on this still. You can just pause the video and just take the screenshot, or either you can write it down. That the feature of an insect, you are required to just determine whether insects, arachnids, crustacea, yeah, myriapods. All right. In the insects, you can have an example of a dragonfly, arachnids such as spider, and crustacea such as woodlouse, and for myriapods such as centipede or millipede. You can also find it on the Google, so that it could be more easier to you to understand. And have the three pairs of legs, body divided into head and thorax and abdomen, one pair of antenna, one pair of compound eyes, usually two pairs of wings for the insects, four pairs of legs, body divided into okay, cephalothorax and abdomen. As there is no antenna, several pairs of simple eyes. All right. Several pairs of simple. What does the simple eyes and the compound eyes? You're required to just memorize it very, very simply. That the simple eyes are looking very simple, but at the compound, you can see it like a bit different from the animal eyes or the human eyes. These are very difficult, such as you can see the eyes on the Google. For many of the insects, such as for arachnids, you can search it and you can just see that what are the eyes. Basically, you can sorry, for the insects, you can just see that the eyes are very compound and very distinguished from the simple eyes of a animal or human. Or you can say if a cat, you can see the eyes of the cat. So these are the simple eyes, and the other eyes which are even looking very dangerous and like some distinguished are compound eyes. You can just also be it visible, so that it is called as compound eye, and you can just give the paper easily. Calicari for biting and poisoning prey. Okay. Crustacea, five or more than five pairs of legs, body divided into cephalothorax and abdomen, two pairs of antenna, one pair of compound eyes, and exoskeleton often calcified to form a carapace or heart. Or myriapod. Myriapods have 10 or more than 10 pairs of leg, body not obviously divided into thorax and abdomen, one pair of antenna, and simple eyes. This is also one of the important table, and these both are tables very essential for you guys, so just you can take the screenshot or can write it down. That the feature for the classes of vertebrates, the one who have the backbones. Okay. Vertebrate classes: fish, amphibia, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Who are we? We are basically mammals. All right. Now, for the fish, there is a body coverage as is scales are being made. So in the figure, when it is given to you, you are easily just required to focus that either it is having a scales. If it has, it means that it is fish. All right. For the amphibians, it is moist skin. For reptiles, dry skin with scales. Okay. For birds, feathers with scales on legs. Okay. And for mammals, are fur. Simple. You can just also read the examples and then the movement. Also, we are required to just learn the reproduction. For the reproduction of fish, produced jelly coverage eggs in water. For amphibians, produce jelly covered eggs in water. Reptiles produce eggs with a rubbery, waterproof shell laid on land. And birds produce egg with a hard shell laid on land. And mammals produce live young. Okay. For the sense organs, you can just see it. Eyes and ears are for amphibians, reptiles, and birds, and for mammals, including the pinna, which is the external flap, means the ears are at outside. Okay, and for the fish, ears, no ears, eyes, lateral line. Okay, lateral line along body for detection vibrations in water. And the other details, you're just required to just learn that cold-blooded, everyone is cold-blooded above than birds and mammals. Okay, could create in these. Okay, you can see that this is in the figure. You can see the mushroom and hypha and mycelium. A group of hypha is called mycelium. Okay, so made of a thread like hypha rather than cells. Many nuclei distributed throughout the cytoplasm in their hypha. Mushrooms, toadstools, puffballs, bracket fungi that grow on the tree trunks. Okay. Mold fungi which grow on the stale bread, cheese, fruit, or other food. The yeast are single celled fungi. Prokaryotic kingdom, bacteria, and blue green algae consist of single cells, different to other single cell organisms because their chromosomes are not organized into a nucleus. Bacteria are very small organisms. Cell walls are made of cellulose but of a complex mixture of protein, sugars, and lipids. Some bacteria have a slime capsule outside their cell wall. Cytoplasm contain granules of glycogen, lipid, and food reserves. Each bacterial cell contains a single chromosome consisting of a circular strand of DNA. The chromosome is not enclosed in a nuclear membrane but is coiled up to occupy part of the cell. Flagella can flick the cell about. Alright, so the for prokaryotic kingdom. Okay, so this is not written it clearly. So they are the single cell or the unicellular organisms. Their chromosomes enclosed in the nuclear membrane. Okay, and that's all just written. So I'll just giving a community post on the protoctist. Yes, for the viruses, Catalast have a central core of RNA or DNA where the RNA means ribonucleic acid and the DNA means deoxyribonucleic acid, surrounded by a protein coat, no nucleus. You can see the figure. Okay, this figure is for the bacteria which divided by the binary fusion. We have already discussed in the A levels video. Okay, no nucleus, cytoplasm, cell organelles, or cell membrane. Virus particles therefore are not cells, do not feed, respire, excrete, or grow. Only they reproduce, but only inside the cell of living organisms using material provided by the host cell. The nucleic acid coat is a coiled single strand of RNA. The coat is made up of a regularly packed protein units called capsomeres, each containing many protein molecules. The protein coat is called a capsid. Alright, so this is we have discussed in the A levels video. Uh, yes, in the A levels video of the cell structure, we have discussed virus. So you can also go to there, but I don't think so. I think so that this information is enough for you O level candidates. So till that's it here and take care, and that's all.